All right, next up, Fabien Jacob is a sommelier with a knowledge of wine and cuisine that belies his 35 years. Born in France, he started his career in restaurants at the age of 12. His resume includes working for one of the legendary founders of Nouvelle Cuisine, Paul Bocuse. And while attending chef school, he realized he preferred working at the front of the house. His decision proved to be a good one, as his keen palate, passion for his work, and attention to customers a perfect fit for his current position. You may know this as sommelier and manager at, it's called Il Sogno restaurant here. And in describing how to pair wine with a particular dish, he determines the flavor profile of the dish and then what goes with it. His goal is to emphasize the flavor of the dish, not the wine, which is what I get wrong. I didn't realize that you're supposed to emphasize the flavor of the dish. Please welcome Fabien Jacob! Yeah, if you want to say something first, and then you hit the space bar, and then however you want to do it.
Well, good evening and welcome. Delighted to be here, and what I'll try to do tonight is just to explain to you the 101 of the winemaking and the most common question I always have. People always ask me questions about wine, so I try to clear that up with you tonight, and I'm going to go through 10 minutes of a slide with a picture of grapes and winemaking. So thanks for coming. So the first picture right here is called the wine harvest. That's pretty important. If you look at the vineyard, the location, the climate, the terrains, the soil, of course, going to do a big role on the flavor of your wine. It does take a long time to make wine. So first what we do, we just pick up the grapes, and then we're going to, what we call distemming. We're going to take all those grapes, and we're going to crush them. Crushing and distemming is to separate the juice from the skin of the wine and make sure that we don't have any impurity. So it's pleasant to drink. By doing so, we're going to release the must, which is the juice, and the juice is going to start to develop a little bit of yeast, and the sugar and the yeast is going to make the fermentation, and this is what you're seeing right now. When the fermentation occurred, it's just going to bring you some alcohol and flavor to the wine. At this stage, it's just a grape juice, is already fermenting. We're going to take that juice and transvase it to the big vase or cask. There's several ways to do it. The best way, using oak. That's very expensive. Lately what they do, they just take the juice and put them in a big stainless steel. And then they're going to add some oak to it. It's better because it's cheaper, and of course it's better for the environment. It's more ecological. After a few months and a few weeks of aging, we're going to take the wine, and it's what we call blending. Blending is very easy, but it's very difficult in the same way. We take two juice, make it together, and make sure everything is good. You always try to blend the wine to make it a little bit more acceptable to the palate. Try to balance the pH, the strong flavor of the wine, or just the acidity of it. And that's what makes wine. When the wine comes out, that's where you guys to enjoy it. So this is the last process of the wine. Now I'm going to go through a few basic Chardonnays. Chardonnay can be very, very light or very powerful. It can be very oaky, which is creamy, a lot of vanilla flavor, or very dry. Tastes more like pear, apple, pineapples, or sometimes a little bit of a green apple flavor, If you look at France, you have the main area, Burgundy, east part of France, central, and Champagne. In Burgundy, in the Chablis area, which is the north part of Burgundy, in the blue area, the wine has tendency to be very fleshy and buttery. The main flavor of that is going to be green apple, vanilla, and pear. If you go to Sonoma, the wine's going to be a little bit more oaky. We're using a lot of French oak. So same grape, but different profile. This wine goes well with big, greasy dish, like cream, like butter, like cod or salmon. This grape there is called Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cabernet is very difficult to understand. If it's from France, it's very dry. If it's from California, it's very big, lots of blackberry flavor, blueberries, licorice, and if it's from Chile, it's take a totally different flavor profile as well. Chile is right next to Argentina, and that's on the left part of the peninsula. In Chile, the Cabernet used to be very, very small productions. Today, it's 19,000 acres of the production, which is a third of the worldwide production. If you go to Sonoma, it's very interesting to see the different profile of the wine. If you like some, the soil and the microclimate does make a difference in your wine. If you want something a little bit more like powerful, then try to drink some Orwell Mountain. It's very powerful, very firm, rich tannic with black currant. France, the main area is going to be Medoc, which is on what we call the left bank on the north next to the sea, and then the Saint-Emilion, more inside the land on the right bank. The Medoc is more powerful, very dry and acidic. The Saint-Emilion is a bit more robust, a lot of gravel, so a lot of powerful flavor to that. This one is a Malbec. Malbec used to be in France for a long time. Then we have a disease, and you cannot make it anymore. Malbec is only produced by a few, winemaker in France. It's only less than 2%. The Malbec is huge in Argentina. Malbec is very nice because if you don't know about wine and you want something to be easy to drink with your friends, then drink a Malbec. It's between a Merlot, between a Cabernet. It's pretty big, very fleshy, a lot of pink rim. It's very, very nice to see and very easy to pair. You can go with dry food, or you can go with something fleshy like a steak or chicken. This one is called Syrah. Or Shiraz. You say Shiraz, I say Syrah. It just depends where you're from, I'm French, I say Syrah. Syrah in Europe is a little more rustic. Smell like coffee, a little bit more like volatile, like how can I say so? Like gamey. And it's mainly made in the north part of Côte d'Ivoire, which is the central east part of France. Côte d'Ivoire is split in two areas. The north is Syrah, so everybody knows Hermitage or Côte Rôti, so that's a Syrah grape. And if you go to the south, it's going to become a Grenache blend. Then Syrah has been lately, since 1900, huge and exploding in Australia, and this is Australia. It's very simple. On the north of Australia, you have nothing except kangaroos, and on the south of Australia, it was nicer, then you get all the wine. And that's where the best wine comes from. Shiraz is very spicy over there, with a lot of aroma of blackberry, jammy, and currant. The last one there is very funny as well. People get confused on the restaurant. That's Riesling. Riesling is very simple. It's dry at all the time. It only becomes sweet because you have 6 levels of sweetness. Riesling is home in Germany, then France, where it's always dry. You always smell like petroleum, kerosene, turpentine on the nose. Tastes like peach, a lot of honey, and that's the main flavor of it. If you look at the little pyramid there, it shows you the 6 level of ripeness of the Riesling. The best way to do so is when you go somewhere, like to buy your wine, you look at the back label. If you have a high level of alcohol, which is 12 or 13 degrees, it means low sugar, so it's dry. If it's low in alcohol, it means very, very sweet, high level of sugar. So 6 to 9 degrees is sweet, 9 and over is going to be a dry Riesling. Thank you so much for being here tonight.